everybody. Let's talk sports. For the UNLV football team, home field advantage just isn't quite home field advantage when the UH Warriors come to town. As populated with Islanders as Las Vegas tends to be, so are the stands at Sam Boyd Stadium when UNLV and UH hook up, as they will this Saturday, and as they did 2 years ago when Hawaii came away with a 49-14 win with head coach Greg McMackin, the defensive coordinator at the time.
I remember being there 2 years ago, and it was just really exciting. Came to Las Vegas, and it was like a home, I mean, we had half the crowd were Hawaii people, and geez, that just jacked up the crowd, all in green, and they were just going crazy. It was fun. You don't know what that 12th person does to help us win the game. To have those stands full of that 12th Warrior, that would really help us.
Rebels are 1-1, coming off a narrow defeat at the hands of Oregon State last week. Warriors are 2-0. Kickoff Saturday is set for 5 o'clock Hawaii time. Our John Veneri will be sending back reports from Vegas starting on Friday.
In theory, it can't be easy to be in Las Vegas with 60 20-year-old kids and not try to lock them down and not let them out of your sight.
They're really into this thing, and our schedule has been that we practice in the morning just like back home, and we study during the day, and then we meet from 4 to 6, and they eat dinner, and then there's study hall at night. So
isn't that sacrilegious to go to Sin City and have study hall?
I don't call it that. It's a great city, but it doesn't even come close to Honolulu.
I hope you're all having a pleasant evening. UH football team is spending the week in Las Vegas before strapping it up against UNLV Saturday night. Unbeaten Warriors owe a big chunk of their success so far to slot back Greg Salas. He's #1 in the country with 375 receiving yards in 2 games.
He's really playing well, and I'm so excited to see him do so well because he's such a class person, but he's a great player. We moved him inside, so it's tougher for people to double on him, and he's really responded. He's a quick, big man inside, and he's been really playing well.
Quarterback Greg Alexander is also a player getting national attention. 3rd in the country in total offense, 5th in passing efficiency. Teams ranked 4th overall throwing the ball, and at 520.5 yards per game, Hawaii's the 11th best offense in the nation.
He's still learning. I think you always learn when you're in this offense, but he obviously is making the right reads, and he's got a great supporting group as far as players. I think the line has been doing a good job of protecting, and the receivers can all run, and so I think that they're all working well together.
And on defense, linebacker Corey Paredes is tops in all of college football right now with 3 forced fumbles.
That Greg Alexander has come into his own at UH, but the Warrior can attribute part of that progress to his coach and former QB, Nick Rolovich, a guy he's beginning to look a lot like on and off the field. Liz Chun has more from Vegas.
The UH football team is now settled in Las Vegas, practicing at Palo Verde High School. With Hawaii off to a 2-0 start, quarterback Greg Alexander says he's feeling a lot more comfortable leading the Warriors, partly because of the coach who's guiding him.
Even in the offseason, in the office every day, we'd be talking. It's just I think we think similar ways.
Greg Alexander and former UH QB and now quarterbacks coach Nick Rolovich have a very close working relationship based on mutual respect and understanding.
Having him done it before, helps him communicate with me and tell me, can you do this here, and things like that.
These days, Rolovich is now play calling from the sidelines, and from his viewpoint, Alexander's career-high 453-yard performance versus Washington State could just be the beginning.
Last week was his best performance as far as making one decision and going with it. You're the good or the bad. It's going through you as the quarterback here, and I think that doesn't bother him.
These guys say their approach to the game is one and the same, but then again, so are their looks.
People are going to say what they're going to say, so I think I'm a little better looking, but
Do you look in the mirror and see it and go, I do look like Greg Alexander?
The facial hair, and then I cut my hair off, and He told me he was going no beard this year, so that's why I went beard, but no, I can see it.
Are you asking him at all to shave his beard sooner than later?
No, we were talking about, you know, having a girls contest so you could get it, you know, thicker and gnarlier before, you know, but we'll see.
Do you think you have any chance to beat him on the beard contest?
I don't know. I think it might be close.
As far as quarterback personnel on this leg of the trip, as it played out against the Cougars, Bryant Moniz is Alexander's backup. That's because Brent Roush suffered a spiral fracture to his throwing hand in Seattle and was sent home. In turn, Shane Austin was flown up to be the third-string QB. Reporting from Las Vegas, Nevada, Liz Chun, KGMB 9 Sports.
Thanks, Liz. The Warriors and Rebels kick things off this Saturday at 3 p.m. Hawaii time. Hawaii owns the series record and has a 5-4 mark at Sam Boyd Stadium.